Hello. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Coach Cara's podcast, Itchy, Bitchy, and Guests. Hope you're all well. Today, very exciting. We're going to speak about exercise and activity and the difference in the two things. So, I want you to think about if you do this. Alright, first of all, if you exercise to punish yourself for eating. So, exercising is about giving you a better quality of life, building a strong cardiovascular system, so your heart and your lungs, and building strong muscles and bones and joints. Right, it's nothing to do with fat loss. See, the quicker we can actually learn and understand and try not to do it, is the quicker we can separate exercise and activity from fat loss. Right, so the two of them. So the quicker you think about, if you want to lose fat, it's purely down to nutrition. And if you want to get ripped, build some muscle, strengthen your bones, strengthen your joints, then it's about exercise. See, the quicker you can learn to separate the two things, then honestly, you'll get on a hell of a lot easier and a hell of a lot quicker. So exercise and activity, right? So we need both of these things. Excuse me. Obviously, my dog would just go mental when I started the podcast and the Facebook Live. I mean, why would I not do that? So the two things. Sorry, just had to go away and shut the door there. So, we need exercise and we need activity, right? So please don't think for 1 minute that if you go and knock your pan in at the gym or go and dick about at the gym or whatever for an hour, that is enough movement for you throughout the day, because it's not. We need exercise, right? And we need activity. So exercise, that's the stuff that builds your cardiovascular system. That's the stuff that strengthens your bones. That's the stuff that strengthens your joints. And that's the stuff that builds muscle, right? So obviously as midlife women, our muscle starts to decline from about age 30 to 35. So it's literally never too late to get in the gym. Like, never too late to get in the gym and to learn how to lift weights. Never too late. Obviously, if you don't know what you're doing, there's get yourself a coach, get yourself a group class. There's millions on YouTube. Obviously, if you're following a program without a coach, you need to just be aware of your technique and stuff. All right, that's obviously the benefits to in-person coaching and stuff like that. But do what you need to do. So we're looking for 3 to 4 weightlifting sessions a week. This is the government guidelines, right? And they are actually quite cool. 3 to 4 sessions a week of weightlifting. Right, now, if you need to start at body weight, that is totally cool, like press-ups and stuff, right? That is absolutely fine. If you need to start with really light kettlebells or dumbbells, that's totally cool as well, right? Anything that you can lift is amazing, right? So don't be thinking that you need to go and, like, if you haven't exercised for years, don't be thinking that you need to go and lift like a 3,000 kilogram deadlift or anything, because you don't, right? It's just about progress. It's about starting small. And again, when I'm saying 3 to 4 sessions, if you're not training at the moment and not exercising at the moment, 1 to 2 a week is enough to start with until you can build that into your life and it becomes a habit. You don't need to think about it, and then you can add in a third one, and then you could maybe add in a fourth one. So think small to start with, all right? What you want to do is get yourself a win. You want to build your confidence, get yourself a couple of wins, and make it fit into your life, right? So that the more it fits into your life and the easier it fits into your life, the more chance you have of sticking to it for the long term. And that's what we're looking for, all right? 3 to 4 sessions of weightlifting a week, all right? 5 30-minute, for example, this I've said 30 minutes because it's easier to break it down, right? 5 30 minutes of sweaty exercise. So anything that's going to get your heart rate up. So running, swimming, cycling, aerobics, Zumba, anything that you can do that's going to get your heart rate up and get you a bit out of breath and a bit sweaty. So 5 of them a week, 5 30 minutes a week. You could do 2-hour sessions and a half-hour session. You're pretty much looking for 2.5 hours worth of sweaty exercise a week, all right? If it's running about a football pitch, that's totally cool. Just whatever. And again, you don't need to put a label on your training. Like, there's a lot of shit out there at the moment about it. Do you do high rocks? Do you do CrossFit? Are you, like, hybrid athlete, right? Just find something that you like and do it. That's all. That is literally all that matters. Because if you like something, you are more than inclined to do it, and you're more than likely to keep it going for the rest of your life, which is what we want. All right. So we've covered your exercise. So this is to build your muscle. This is to stabilise your joints, to strengthen your bones, right? And obviously the side effects from that, or there's another word that I can't actually think of. And if you were listening to yesterday's podcast when I couldn't think of the word, it was flexible eating that I was trying to think of. I couldn't think of it. Anyway, see now I've went off on a tangent. I can't remember what I was going to say. So exercise, and chew my pen, see if that'll give me anything with bobs. Yeah, I can. Oh, yeah, right. So it will spill over into outside of your life, all right? So we want strong bones and we want strong joints, because that's what's going to stop us falling over when we get older, right? There is quite a big thing that a lot of elderly people, like, they fall out of their bed, they can't get off the floor, or they fall, they break their hip, they go into hospital, and before you know it, they're never back out of hospital, and that's shit. It's absolutely shit. So what we want to lift weights and build strength to make us more mobile, to make us more flexible, to make us more stable. So we want to increase our stability so that we're not falling over, and just to be able to do the stuff, like, we want to be able to not rely on people. So we want to be able to lift our own shopping bags out the boot of the car, or, do you know what I mean, carry your shopping on the bus. You just want to be able to get up off the toilet and get onto the toilet yourself, right? And even though that might be a struggle when you're 70 and 80, right? If you start weightlifting now in midlife, then you've got another 30, 40 years of being independent and mobile, all by your own, right? Whereas if you don't start now and you can already feel your mobility getting less and less and less, right? Let's face it, you could be fucked by the time you're 60, which is not cool, right? We want to be strong. We want to live an independent life for as long as we can, all right? So that's your exercise. You need your activity on top of that. Right, so your activity is anything that's not exercise, and pretty much all your daily movement. So going for a walk, obviously, right? That's cool. Yeah, if you want to go for a walk, that would be amazing. But your other daily activity, like running up and down the stairs, do you know, like getting off the bus and walking to your work. Your movement, getting up off the sofa to go and make a cup of tea, putting the kettle on, do you know what I mean? That's all things that are daily activity. And the 10,000 steps, right, the 10,000 steps came from a promotion that somebody did. I think it was the Soul, that's better. I think it was one Olympics, I can't remember what it was, right? And somebody invented a pedometer thing, and they decided that they would give everybody a challenge of 10,000 steps, all right? So it's totally random. However, people have adopted it, and it is a good thing, and it's a goal. If you're not at the 10,000 steps yet, then that's your goal, all right? If you can do 10,000 steps, no bother, then you need to think about going a wee bit higher than that. So 12.5, and then up to 15, up to 17.5, up to 20,000, etc., etc., all right? So you want your activity. You want your daily movement. We seize up when we don't move, all right? So think about things like parking your car at the opposite end of the car park for your shopping, getting off the bus at a stop early, getting off the train a stop early, getting off the tram a stop early, all right? If you're working down the stairs in your home office, go to the toilet up the stairs, and vice versa, all right? Taking the stairs at work, any way that you can get movement into your life is absolutely going to benefit you. And if it's raining, you should still go for a walk, right? It's no acid rain, you're not going to burn. And I would guarantee, right, if you are overweight, and I say to you, if you go out for a walk in the rain, you will shrink, right? You'd be off that chair like a fucking shit off a shovel. So just dress appropriately, all right? The weather should not be, unless it's like there's a weather warning or whatever, but overall, right, you need to get out, all right? So we need our activity. Also, even though I started off this podcast by saying please disconnect your thoughts to do with the gym and activity and fat loss, right? The reason that I said that is because I don't want you punishing yourself for the food that you eat, all right? Exercise and nutrition are meant to enhance your life. We're not meant to use them as punishment tools because we ate a takeaway pizza last night, all right? Yeah, we take a takeaway pizza last night, banging. I hope you fucking enjoyed it and you don't feel guilty, all right? Nothing to do with anything else. But 2 ways to drop body fat is drop your calories or increase your expenditure. So If you don't want to drop your calories, providing you're in a deficit already, all right, if you don't want to drop your calories, you just need to move more. It's not as a punishment, it's just as an enhancement to your fat loss that you're doing at the moment. All right, my lovelies, that's it. Short and sweet today. Exercise and activity, we need both, all right? Absolute both. Everybody should be weightlifting. Yes, midlife ladies should be weightlifting. Everybody should be lifting weights, all right? For those of you that know me, I coach CrossFit kids and teens, all right? The kids, 5-year-old, they start lifting weights, right? There's nothing wrong with it, absolutely. My ladies that lift, my oldest client is 65 and she lifts weights, does burpees, flings herself upside down up a wall, hangs on a bar. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, all right? You are missing out so much if you are not weightlifting. It will give you independence until you're well into your 70s and 80s, and don't for 1 minute think that it's too late to start, because it's not. All right, bye-bye.